Thursday, October 24th until October 27th. Make sure you tune in for that. But we have one more race to get to before that, and it is underway now. We are starting, obviously, in the various locations here. And I did miss what was in the sanctuary, but I see 20 bucks in Link's house. So that's the first item of the game, technically, right there.
Yeah, well, Blaine definitely made the right choice starting in the sanctuary since he has a win now. Oh, we just got... I saw crystals in Eastern Desert on the map. Not catch Hera.
Yep, I missed the map check myself. I'll try to get another look here. Look in the meantime at the chest below. I call it Uncle's chest, the one in his area. And Welkin is being synced here for a second. There it is, 20 bucks out of Uncle's chest, which Gerdo also just picked up. We have Wayne in the Lost Woods. I missed Waterloo found, but we're going to see it again here. 10 arrows on Uncle. We have a cape in the spot where the mushroom normally is in the Lost Woods. And we see now that they got a sword in Sanctuary. That's an excellent find for Sanctuary. So Gerdo and Relkin both just picked up. So did Waterloo. We have a lamp in the drop down in the Lost Woods. So that lamp does open up some routing options here. We do know now that any play in Eastern Palace, to finish Eastern Palace, to go through Palace Darkness, things like that, are now completely in logic. The only question is, can we finish them? We would need a bow for something like that for Eastern Palace, for example, or other items in other dungeons. Wayne is heading up to the Uncle drop down himself. We're getting to see our tree pull. Level 1 tree pull appears to be 5 arrows on each of the drops today. What is in Lumberjack? A set of bombs. And Wayne is getting his arrows from his dead uncle. Or dying uncle. I think Gerdo was trying to set up a level 2 tree pull. He took time to kill one of the squids there, is killing that bird now. So I think he's planning to see what the next tree pull level is. We're going to keep an eye on him for a second to get that information here. As everyone except Wayne is now in the Lost Woods getting their cape. Waterloo getting shocked by the squid. And level 2 tree pull, either he didn't have enough or it was also 5 arrows. And Drossi is having a little bit of a Discord problem, it looks like. So we are going to be joined by him when he does get that worked out. It's being pointed out already, and I didn't mention this yet on purpose, but it's being pointed out in chat that Aghanim is already available. We have a sword and a cape that does provide access to the Aghanim's Tower. However, the reason I did not mention it yet was because there are a lot of items that still have to be found here before we know whether that is in play or not. So we will look to analyze that a little bit further later on. Gerdo is meanwhile doing the Hyrule Castle basement, the starting part of the game normally. We are getting to see what is in Blind's hut. I did not catch what was in the library. We'll come back to that in a moment. So 10 arrows, some blueberries, a piece of heart, and 50 bucks. Blind's hut, not really that good so far. Let's see what the last item is. In Hyrule Castle basement, the first item appears to be a piece of heart. There is a power glove in Blind's hut. Waterloo buying some blueberries. And the chicken hut for Wayne. And we are getting to see the well from Relka, and there is a blue rupee there. And the chicken hut, by the way, did only have the 20 rupees in it. 10 arrows in the second chest in the basement of Hyrule Castle. And nothing else useful that I could see in the well. Oh, I did not even catch. That was a fire rod that came off of the bottle vendor. Maybe we just did not see that yet, but Relkin just got that fire rod off of the bottle vendor. Excellent find. That will provide access to Mothula's lair when we do get to Skull Woods later on, as well as other things we'll talk about later. Wayne just getting that now as well. Gordo, I didn't see that last chest in Zelda's cell, but he has finished down there and heading back to the beginning. And Wayne is now covering territory we've already seen.
So I'm starting to think, with these nice fire sources and a sword and a cape, Aga, is it too early to say that?
Someone actually, in chat, they were actually bringing that up very quickly. I wasn't ready to bring that up yet, but they got me to talk about that. So yeah, Aghanim has already come up in chat, and people are asking for it. I did not mention what was at race game. We have 20 rupees at race game. Several runners have already did the pre-check before actually playing the race game.
Yeah, it does seem like we're getting all the 20 rupees early.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of money, heart pieces, things like that. Well, not a lot of heart pieces, but a few. There's the key for Dark Cross. There's the boots in the back of Escape. The speedrun may now officially begin.
Yeah, that is a very worthwhile and necessary check in the back of Escape.
Most of the time, it's not actually required. Oh, the Moon Pearl was there as well. I didn't catch that. Moon Pearl is also in the back of Escape. So that is definitely a good back of Escape today. The boots not always required, but they just make you go faster. It makes it, it's almost required because you'll be faster. And the Moon Pearl, of course, gets you the Dark World. That means Skull Woods is already opened up. You can get there from Village of Outcasts.
Well, except they'd still need the Titan's Mitt or the hammer.
Oh, from behind the hammer. That is correct. I keep easy to forget when you can pick up the rock with the power glove that the hammer is still required. And Dark Cross had a set of bombs, so we're going to see what's in Bonk Rocks on Wayne's side right now. Oh, that's the Kate of Samaria. So the Kate of Samaria doesn't have effect on a lot of dungeons, but the one that it will really have an effect on is Turtle Rock. In addition to that, any blocks that require switches to be pushed, such as one in Skull Woods, for example, you can just drop a cane block on there and walk away, and it's fine.
Now, the interesting thing is, since we've already seen 3 crystals in the light world, that means there are going to be 3 pendant dungeons in the dark world, so it's entirely possible that Mire and Turtle Rock could both be pendants, and we won't even need to use Samaria before we get to Ganon's Tower.
It very well is possible. We will see whether Kane of Samaria even comes in to be required at all today. Looks like we have 2 runners going to get the old man and take him home right now. Dwayne and Relkin thinking similarly here. Waterloo may be heading in that direction now himself. We are getting a check of the Lion's Hut from Gerdo, who has not been there yet. Interesting that we have not had a South Shore play yet. That is very interesting.
And there's very little they can get on Death Mountain at this point without the mirror or the hook shot, so I guess we'll see what's on Spectacle Rock that can't be gotten and what's in Spectacle Rock that can be gotten.
And the old man, by the way, his tip was some breakfast. So he's Relkin taking a bomb out for some reason as he climbing that ladder. I'm not sure what that was about.
Okay, so Death Mountain didn't get us anything except that we have the restart point there for free true use.
That restart point may have been the reason they made that play. So they're going to do that South Shore check now. They've gotten the cane, they've gotten the fire rod, they've gotten the lamp. So they do have some progression items. Of course, the power glove and the Moon Pearl. Still a lot of things they're looking for, though, and there could be 1 or 2 of them down here.
I caught a full heart at Lake Hylia Island.
Good eye. That's an item that they will not be worried about later, most likely.
Consistent with us seeing red items, though.
Ooh, we're getting an Eastern play from Relkin. We're going to get to see what Sahasrara is hiding in his stash today. And in his closet, we have a piece of heart, some bombs, and ooh, that single green rupee. He's not a very rich old man, is he?
Yeah, it's more like the junk that was left after the kids moved out, right?
Yeah. Wayne is making the Agina play already. We don't have the book to open the desert, so this is a one-off play. He's checking the desert ledge, going to Agina, and there's nothing else to do here. And that's money on the ledge. We are going to get the Eastern Palace play from Relkin. The lamp does make the extra item here accessible. It cannot be completed, though, unless we find the bow in here, which would be a little vanilla. Piece of heart and Agina. And here we're going to check at Mini Moldorm Cave. We have some bombs, arrows, money, more of the same, and a hook shot. That's the one useful item we have here. The hook shot gives more access to Death Mountain.
Yeah, that's a bit of a relief. I was wondering, like, when there would be some progression, because they're really starting to run out of spots.
Well, this is making the play that Wayne and Relkin did look a little weaker. If they had made the South Shore play first, they would have had a lot more they could have done on Death Mountain on the first trip up. Instead, they just got up there, saved and quit, and now they're going to have to return there once they have the hook shot.
Well, and I think Waterloo did that as well. I think Gerdo was the only one who hasn't been up Death Mountain yet.
So Waterloo is going to get the hook shot right now while he's up here. We're getting Ice Rod Cave checked by Gerdo as well. And there's 20 bucks there. And
But with that extra money from Mini Moldorm Cave now becomes a possibility.
You mean Zora?
I thought I said Zora.
I didn't hear you. Okay, so in any case, we found the bug net in Eastern Palace, and Rockin is going to go buy the big key chest right now. Has not found... Oh, no, he has found the big key. I didn't even catch that. And the big key has the map in it. Big key chest, rather.
I wonder if we'll see Water walk. So rock them under Zora, and this is the water walk from.
So Rocket is now going to proceed to the last item in Eastern Palace on this end, aside from the boss itself. We can't get to the boss yet. Unless this is a bow, it is not. It is a compass. So we're going to visit our old friend under the bridge. He's a little unfortunate. He's a homeless man. That's why he's under the bridge. He found a pack of bombs somewhere. We're going to take that from him because he has no use for bombs. Kind of scary that he's carrying around bombs.
The thing is, having gone up there, he lost his water walk and now he's fake flippering instead, which is a bit less useful when you get to Zora, because now with fake flippers, you can't grab the item on Zora Ledge if that turns out to be something useful.
Speaking of Zora, he is heading up to the Zora area, and I believe Waterloo will be shortly as well. Almost got hit with the fake flippers there from the Zora. Being very careful to not take damage from that. Brain is using a trick to get into the waterfall. You have to leave and exit to get the walking in. There's the powder. There's the, I believe that was the 10 bomb pack that you can get from the Uncle in standard mode as one of the regular weapons. That powder, meanwhile, gives access to anti-fairies turning into fairies. There's our Bombos medallion on the ledge. So that lost water walk is going to come back to play here.
It looks like Waterloo's doing a water walk, but it's not the same as the water walk that Blaine got himself into, because that was actually from jumping off a ledge. Oh, but... Or, I guess Blaine wasn't doing a proper water walk, or he would have tried to get Bombos.
Yeah, he no longer had the proper water walk. He was using the boots to dash on the water. It was not a water walk. So Blaine is now heading up Death Mountain now that he has that hook shot. And Gerdo is dropping down Death Mountain with his hook shot. We're going to go look at Paradox Cave right now. 7 items in here. We're going to bomb this hole, stand there and wait for the bomb, and then run in. First 2 chests back here contain a blue shirt and some money.
Nice to haves, at least.
We'll talk about that blue shirt in a second, as we'll talk first about this room. This has 3 mini Moldorms that must be killed to allow you to leave again. But before you leave, of course, you can get the goodies, which include a very useful mirror, a piece of heart, another piece of heart.
So now Tower of Hera is full clearable. We finally have a dungeon we can do. Though it looks like Relkin's just going straight for Aga.
Yeah, Relkin is making the Aghanim play. I'm very interested by that. Blaine is able to do Tower of Hera, just like you said. He does have the mirror. He is able to do that area completely now when he walks back up the other direction in Death Mountain. He can't get through here because there is a set of hammer pegs in the way, so he has to go the other way to get to Death Mountain. He's going to do Spiral Cave in the meantime and take the long walk. Well, not really walk of shame. It's a lot faster when you have the boots.
As long as you don't go into a Barry like that.
Yeah. And that blue shirt, by the way, I should talk about that too. That does allow you to have your damage. That is considered armor in the game. So the blue shirt is a mail upgrade. It does double your defense.
And
meanwhile, there's
speaking of mail upgrades, there's a sword upgrade.
Yeah, the Master Sword.
So yeah, it looks like Relkin is unfortunately jumping the gun a bit with this Aga play, since he's now doing it on Fighter Sword when the Master Sword is perfectly well in logic.
So Relkin is now working his way up Aghanim's Tower. This means that very soon we will get to play a game. I will call for it in a moment. Wade is going to meanwhile go into Tower of Hera. We have a guess in chat that there's going to be something huge on that pyramid allowing Relkin to gain time here. So that could be a call for a hammer on the pyramid. We'll find out.
Well, the Hera Big Key is in a nice convenient location.
Coffee break will come into play later. There are still 2 items out there.
Could well, but at least we don't have to see the pot clip. Oh, get a Darrow check. The other 6 crystals in Turtle Rock, Green Pendant in Swamp, the other 2 pendants in Ice and Skullwoods.
I heard Ice and Skullwoods. I missed what the first one was.
Green Pendant in Swamp.
Green Pendant in Swamp, and the others were in Ice, Palace, and Skullwoods. So Skullwoods is not required. Ironically enough, that's one of the dungeons we can clear once we can get to it. And we didn't play the blue ball game, which apparently Relkin got there a lot quicker than I expected. So I would say guess the blue balls, but we're already underway. So we have 2 blue balls, 3 blue balls,
Which means 15 is still possible.
If this is not required and 15 is the number, this would be absolutely evil. But what is happening here with the Aghanim fight, he's guaranteed to fire 1 orb normally that you can fire back, and then he's 50-50, or at least he's supposed to be 50-50, between a regular orb and a blue ball. Right now, he's been 100% blue balls. 5 blue balls! 6 blue balls!
The 15 dream is alive. I've never actually seen it, but I've heard lore.
I've seen a 15 versus 0 in regular Link to the Past. That is just... ugh.
Half magic on Moldorm there as we get nearly simultaneous kills on the top half of the screen.
Oh, 7 blue balls. Regular orb! 15 is dead.
And in fact, 7 is the final number because after this lightning, it's guaranteed to be the 6th red ball.
Exactly. And there it is. So 7 blue balls is the final count. And And with Tower of Harris being known, the Aghanim is apparently required here. We have not found any bow. We have not found any book. We have no backdoor access to Misery Mire or anything, to Desert, I mean. So we have no choice but to do Aghanim, it looks like, today.
We have a bottle, though. It would be kind of funny if the progression is on Sick Kid and you needed to do Aga to get the ball off of Pyramid Ledge to get Sick Kid, but we shall see.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. That would be hilarious if that was a progression.
Now, with the glove and the hookshot, we do have access to West Dark World, though.
We're getting our catfish check from Relkin already before going to Palace of Darkness. I don't know if he wants to go to Palace of Darkness yet, but I think at this point, he pretty much has to. He came to the Dark World. If he doesn't get anything good off of catfish, Palace of Darkness is the only place he can really go at this point. So, other than Sick Kid, as we were just talking about.
I was just saying he has access to West Dark World because of the hookshot.
Oh, that's true as well. Yes, he does have West Dark World. You are correct. And that boomerang is only going to be good for stunning enemies, but it would give us indication what the stun prize is. He's not going to find out what that is, though.
One thing to be aware of with West Dark World is that Relkin never picked up the mirror because he didn't go to East Death Mountain, and so if progression turns out to be on Graveyard Ledge, that could be a problem.
Or Sick Kid because he can't quickly get there, but at the same time, he'll route Graveyard Ledge in later once he does find the mirror, but this could, as you said, put him a little behind.
It also means that he can't check Kingdom when he went past it right now, because without the Titan's Mist, you need the mirror to get in there as well.
Correct. So Blaine has seen the writing on the wall, or on an ancient heliographic thing in the tomb somewhere. He is now on his way to Aghanim.
And Relkin ruled out Bumper Ledge as having anything. It was just bombs.
Welcome falling into the hole I don't think he intended to fall into there.
Now, this will be interesting if there is a key there. So one thing about version 31 is that chest does not necessarily have to have a key as opposed to version 30 and before. It could force you to save and quit if you don't have any other way out.
And that would have been unfortunate there, because that would have been a situation where he might have been trapped in there. So thankfully for him, that was not the case. You are right, it used to always be a key in past versions. Now it can be other items. I saw a hook shot there the other day, in fact. And the tip I mentioned about the King of Samaria block, using it to push a switch, Relkin doing exactly that just now. Doesn't have to pull the statue, finds 20 rupees there, and is waiting for the hand to come down. Help me out, please. Give me a hand.
Well, it's a nice fast exit.
Yep.
Looks like he doesn't exactly want to take on Mothula with 4 hearts and a fighter sword, though.
Would you?
No, but these runners are supposed to be better than me.
Understandable. So he is heading down to Village of Outcasts. There are a lot of items you can still get down there, so this is not a bad idea. Also, checking out the front of Thieves Town at the very least. Probably going to finish it as well. If you have a good scripted blind fight, pretty quick dungeon to do. Wayne is about to get his 7 blue balls. I love how Wayne was playing along with the music there.
He's gonna give us the nice little in time to the beat for the whole fight, it looks like.
It looks like it.
So, just junk in the C-shaped house in the brewery. And Fisher Price Shield in the game.
I'm just listening to Wayne doing the music right now. So Gyarados in Waterfall Cave. He's gonna get his items from there.
And Relkin is giving us our first look at Thieves Town. First chest is just the map. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it doesn't really matter since he was pretty close to the entrance anyway.
He might have done that intentionally, knowing he was low on health, and he could have easily lost life going further in, so maybe that was intended. It gets him over here quicker too, I believe. So that was a big key, and we do need that to progress.
Yeah, the front of Thieves Town can have anywhere between 0 and 3 items, and so far we've seen 0.
Well, we have 2 chests left in the front, and I think one of them, unless you have the small key out here and the map and the compass, that would be 0. So I think we just saw 1 there. And there was a green rupee, so that is an item.
Yeah,
not a lot of useful items yet.
Completely useless items.
Exactly. Both of the single green rupees have been found. And Wayne getting his bottle of goo, and he might be cherishing the prospect of Sick Kid being the progression.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Blaine will do. Like, will show us King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge on the way over there. He's going in that direction. Might check Catfish while he's up, like Relkin did.
Yeah, if you're going to go this way, and no, he's going to skip Catfish. We know that's an okay play, but that's still a risky play. He might be doing it with the Witch, though. He might be planning to go back there with the Flute and do that with the Witch, is what I'm thinking. But there's still not a good way to get over to Catfish from there. So,
Well, here goes King's Tomb.
And the king gives up his money. And the Sunshine Room contains some arrows. I refer to the Sunshine Room because, well, you blow up the hole and sunshine pours in.
So 50-50 chance at this point that the big chest is locking itself, which would also mean that the entire back of Thieves Town is hammerlocked by logic. I missed what Graveyard Ledge had, but it didn't look important.
Yeah, I missed it too, but I don't see chat reacting, so I'm assuming it wasn't anything. We have the 2 runners on our right, Gerdo and Waterlore, both doing their trip up to Aghanim right now. 20 rupees looks like it was Graveyard Ledge. Thank you, chat. We are getting a look at the Maiden's chest right now, just to compass.
Which means that the small key is locked in the big chest, and therefore Blind will have an item, but that item will have logic without the hammer.
Gerdo is the first of our 2 runners on the right to get to Aghanim's floor, the 7th floor. Gonna head in. And meanwhile, the blind pun of the day. A weeknight is a tiny nobleman.
Blind's a nice fight to do when you're weak like this with only 6 hearts and fighter sword, because every sword is the same damage and the fight's totally scripted, so if you fight him enough times and remember what he's gonna do, you finish him off quickly as Relkin just did.
And even with 6 hearts, Blind looks easy when you know how the fight works.
And that could be progression with the book. We now have As to Desert, and it's full wearable guaranteed since we have the boots and a fire source.
So let's see if Relkin heads down there immediately, or if he tries to... He doesn't have the mirror. He can't get to Sick Kid, so that's not an option for him. Wayne is doing Skull Woods. Skull Woods could be our progression here as well.
And our 2 runners on the right are enjoying tons and tons of blue balls.
Lots of blue balls.
But Blaine with half magic and blue mail stands a pretty good shot against the Moth.
Rockin' did digging game, and it was very quick. I didn't see what it was because it was only about 8 digs, it looks like, today. He is going to go to Stumpy. Stumpy is going to provide more money. And it looks like digging game also was not worth the investment. It was just another $5, but a special item $5, not a regular dugout $5. Wayne does get his pendant.
Oh, right, I forgot Skullwoods was a pendant dungeon. Well, that was a waste of time, almost certainly, unless by some strange chance there's something on Ped.
Yep, that would be the one real reason that would come in handy here. That was an Ether Medallion on the Hype Cave. Speaking of, get your hype in for the rest of Hype Cave. We have a piece of heart, a shield upgrade, some arrows, and some money. So, Hype Cave is...
A 3 out of 10 if it turns out not to be necessary, probably just 1 out of 10.
We'll have to see later what happens with that ether if it is needed for something. Apparently I broke something.
So Relkin is giving us that look at desert. Though he is kind of unknowingly making things unnecessarily difficult for himself by not having checked East Death Mountain.
Yeah, that mirror being on East Death Mountain is going to come back to bite Rock and not being able to do a few of the checks. He's going to have to retrace his steps here eventually, but he does find a key in the first chest. That opens the right side of Desert Palace. I did not see, was the big key on the torch?
I miss Torch.
Wayne getting a full heart container from that house in Village of Outcasts. And right side, not important.
Well, the big key was the first chest on right side. You just didn't need to go all the way back.
Yeah, the big key was necessary, but the other item was not.
But yeah, so the other thing about not doing Death Mountain is that half magic from Moldorm can be really useful when you use the Fire Rod against Landmows. It makes it very unlikely to run out of magic, though Relkin does have green goo.
In fact, all of our runners having gone through Pyramid, they should all have that green goo by now. And 20 bucks in the big chest.
So, Landmow will just have a dungeon item.
Now, it is still a crystal, so we know that the runners know they have to do that anyway. But the question is, will they do it now? I would say while you're here, why not just finish it?
And since I was watching Relkin in Desert, I didn't see, did Blaine check sick before he went into Thieves Town, or is he going to check him after?
No, I don't think he did. There was a comment in chat that Pod looks like the play, but we still have not seen the sick kid. And if the sick kid could have something extremely important, Palace of Darkness could still be a blank for all we know.
We also have access to both the and Bombos tablets now, and either of them could have progression.
That's correct. The book and the Master Sword do provide access to those. Now, should be noted, you may be noticing the runners are not checking the hint tiles in these seeds. There are no hints turned on. We are using the flags that will be used at Speed Gaming Live, which again starts tomorrow, October 24th to October 27th. Tune in and catch us live in Washington, D.C. starting tomorrow.
And I believe it starts at I want to say 9 a.m. with a link to the past randomizer seed.
Haven't seen the schedule, but I know it does start at 9 a.m. There is a marathon on Speed Gaming 2, and tournaments will take place here on Speed Gaming Prime. And for those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, like at least a few days after the fact here, there'll be a separate playlist on our YouTube channel with all of our live events. Go and check that out as well.
There, I just link in chat with the schedule for SG Live.
Excellent. I'll have to bookmark that for later. So staying with the race for right now, Blaine does get the maiden from the basement. Waterloo is, in Thievestown that is, Waterloo is in Skull Woods. Relkin is getting the Agena check-in. We know there's nothing there, just a piece of heart. And Gerdo is currently working Village of Outcasts. And Blaine going to get told about weeknights. So Blaine does take down Blind. Very nice fight. Waterloo leaving Skull Woods, or at least that area of Skull Woods. Looks like Relkin is going to go to Death Mountain now. He is finally going to get his mirror from the East Death Mountain side. And again, the mirror was in the, I think they refer to it as the lower floor of Paradox Cave on the leftmost chest.
The one with the 5 chests in any case.
Yes. Wayne, it looks like, skipped Sick Kid. Did not mirror to check Sick Kid. And it was 7 digs for the digging game, it looks like. Malkin will make his way over to the left eventually to get his mirror.
Oh, Blaine can also give us a check of K45.
He can. He's going to check Stumpy right now. Welcome doing a bomb jump to get across without having to fall down again. Very nicely done. Heading upstairs or downstairs, whatever you want to call it.
Waterloo shows us that Sick Kid just had a bundle of sticks.
What is the Sick Kid doing with sharp pointing objects?
I mean, you know how kids are. How else do they entertain themselves when they're laid up in bed? Scaring their parents.
Just give him knives instead.
Did Blaine just realize that he should probably check Sick Kid?
Okay, I think he did. He's going all the way back. This will cut. Well, he is heading, it looks like, up to Sick Kid, as you said. I did not see what was in library, but the fact that Blaine did not stop to pick it up and he did check it tells me it was probably nothing important.
And notice, since the Rocks had to beat Aga, that there are a whole lot of guards now in Kakariko.
Yeah, with Aghanim's Tower down, that does change the Hyrule map. Like, see that red guard there? That is not there normally.
And the red guards really like Link. They just want to give him a big hug.
Define like. I remember playing a 2017 Festive Seed with ice everywhere, and I couldn't get out of a narrow passage. One of those red guards just shot me to death. Oh, that is a Bacon Blade, a sword upgrade on the Ether Tablet that Relkin just found.
And our other runners probably won't get there because having beaten Hera, they'll probably last location it.
Well, they have enough to be able to beat Gan anyway. The question is, will they find another sword along the way somewhere? They just will not find the butter unless they check that Ether Tablet.
Yeah, and if the fourth upgrade turns out to be in some out-of-the-way location, that could be an advantage for Relkin.
It could be, very
Maybe
much.
help him make up some of the time he lost. But wait, why is Relkin doing the pot clip when the big key was in plain sight in the front basement?
This is a very good question. Okay.
Bombos just has money. And he had the big key, in fact, because, I mean, I guess it saves a small amount of time, maybe?
Yeah, I guess it is quicker. He gets to that floor quickly. Doesn't have to worry about getting the big key. Or doesn't have to worry about doing all the climbing, I mean, through the other rooms. Now, did we find that Moldorm did have an item? Do we know that? No, yeah. Waterloo would know that. I didn't see what it was, though.
And that's also a nice, fast Moldorm fight with the Bacon Sword. Just takes one hit and one spin.
Moldorm had the half magic. That's right. So, yeah, both items were found. Relkin knows he doesn't have to do the basement now, at least.
And Boyne with them is also having a little bit easier time of getting around Desert Palace. Meanwhile, Waterloo is just about at Blonde, and soon get his book. But yeah, we are kind of getting to that point where Pod pretty much has to have the progression.
We're kind of limited now. I think it has to be Palace of Darkness. They're staying away from it as long as possible because they don't have the bow or the hammer. Can you blame them once they're there? Do you imagine both items are in there?
That would be some frustration slashes, I would say.
I would agree.
Oh, and Blaine's actually just he wants to go for an Ether Tablet first.
Something else you have to remember too is the Bombos medallion. I remember that was on the Zora ledge, so we need the flippers to get that if that comes to be required. Relkin now going to check the King's Tomb, just going to steal some money from the King. Wayne did get the sword off of the tablet, so he does also have the Bacon Blade.
Yeah, I guess he really wants to last location Pod, so he's gonna do everything else first.
And it's kind of funny because Pod does have the item density. It's just a case of they don't want to go back and have to make another trip later to go to Eastern Palace. That's what they're doing because they know Eastern Palace can't be done yet either. They're doing as much as they can to avoid having to do one dungeon without being able to go back and do the other. What I would not be surprised to see at this point is if the bow is located in Palace of Darkness, you have to mirror back to Eastern Palace. The Armos Knights, if there's still an item left, they could have the hammer, and then that would get you the rest of Palace of Darkness.
Meanwhile, Blizz even doing Catfish before Eastern. Pod, rather.
And he did pass up Catfish earlier, which I was a little surprised by. A question in chat, who is leading? We have no idea yet. This is still completely wide open. If you go by the number of dungeons done, you could say that Relkin has a dungeon lead, but you could also argue that others have an exploration advantage, so there's no real leader.
Speaking of dungeons done, I'm just realizing that all of the runners have completed Tower of Harrow, so it should be marked on all of their trackers, and Wayne did finish third as well.
Wayne finished Desert, you said?
Yeah, but... Or did he? And he did the front of Desert, he didn't do the back?
I don't remember seeing a Land Molish yet.
Maybe he didn't. Yeah, now that I thought it right, I think, right, he realized Landmos didn't have an item, and even though it's a crystal, I guess he figures he'll do it when he does Mire.
Yeah, that's what I think he's planning to do there. Same idea with Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. It's being noted in chat that they were already getting predictions for the pedestal, which we still have not checked. We had the opportunity to while we were at Skull Woods. We have not checked it yet, so the bow could still be on the pedestal. The 2 dungeons requiring it are the 2 that are Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness, so that could be on the pedestal. They're both crystals.
But we would first need to get the hammer and flippers.
So
Wayne bribes the extortionist monkey.
Yep, I was just about to point that out myself. He pays off everyone's favorite contortionist, Kiki the monkey. And the door is opened, and he is accessing Palace of Darkness. He has resigned to the fact he has to come over here. Pretty much as you said earlier, last location in this area. So let's see what the first chest here contains when we get downstairs here. We are seeing that most fights from Gerdo, so Gerdo is going to get that crystal out of the way right now in the meantime. And let's see what the chest has after he gets punched. There's a key. There are going to be 6 keys in this dungeon out of the 14 chests. And there are 5 unique items.
And logically, that just had to have a key, because if it doesn't, the dungeon's bow locked and we don't have bow.
Exactly. So there's another key.
Which means usually the play is to check Vanilla Big Chest next.
So 1 key spent, he's going to get the item here and then drop down into that area you just saw below. This one contains the big key. You said vanilla, right?
Yeah, that's the Vanilla Big Key location.
Yep, it was vanilla. There's our Titan's Met. And Wayne has decided he's done here for right now. He has other places he wants to go.
Well, he can't go anywhere else in logic. He's spent both of the keys he collected, and Bright Eyes, which we know has 2 keys, is bow locked.
Yeah, he could, in theory, use the potion glitch to get through that area without having the bow, but then he would be out of logic. So knowing that he can't complete the dungeon anyway, I think he's going to stay within logic for now, and that's the reasoning behind that.
And Dark Death Mountain definitely has some of the better item density, so seems like a good place to go with the Smiths. 1 in 3 chance he could even open Turtle Rock and start diving it.
Well, the odds of him wanting to do that right now are low, but you are right. He could go in and get those first 3 items, go to Chain Chomp Room, and see what stuff is in there. But I can't see him wanting to go in there too much without having the Ice Rod to get to the back first.
Oh, we know Ice Rod's always on Laser Bridge, except when it isn't.
Yeah, that's always on Laser Bridge, except, as you said. Warlow taking out Desert Palace, so he has now also completed that dungeon.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the runners with 3 crystals.
There's a hammer!
Okay. Here, I was just about to say 3 crystal and so far from go mode, but yeah, just a bit closer to go mode now.
So this makes Wayne a lot happier that he skipped out, that he finally made that Palace of Darkness play, because the hammer will allow him to get further in Palace of Darkness. There's the Ice Rod I was just talking about. The problem is we still need the bow, and you know what? I'm starting to lean towards pedestal here. We'll see what comes up here.
Well, if I didn't split, I don't think he checked the medallion on Turtle Rock, but if it's Ether, Turtle Rock is full clearable.
He's about to. That is an Ether medallion. He is realizing that he has that. He's going to mirror and stop right on top of a rock. Well, no, right in front of it. Good placement. He'll move that and he'll head up.
Yeah, I mean, you're already up here. You got Aiken and Blue Mail even if you don't have that many hearts. For a player Wayne's caliber, it shouldn't be hard at all for him to beat the dungeon with what he has.
It's worth noting that Rocket decided to do the bow lock side. It looks like he did the potion glitch to get to the bow lock side, from what I can tell. At the very least, however, whatever happened, we found Quake inside Palace of Darkness.
He found what? I didn't catch you.
He found the Quake medallion, and we also found a flute.
Oh, Quake, I see.
Yes. I didn't catch where a flute was, but we did find it. So we are getting our first check of Turtle Rock.
I don't know, it looks like chat is just saying flute on side swamp.
Oh, okay.
Which
so
we have not seen.
Okay, they're guessing flute is in swamp. My mistake. But Ralkin has it marked. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. So we're going to get to see what the two chests up here are for Brain right now. Key. We had to have at least one. There's the bow!
Oh my.
What wow. What a high IQ play by Wayne to go check out Turtle Rock before leaving and checking other items.
So at this point, it's just flute for Schrodinger mode, right? Oh, flippers. No, we don't necessarily need the flippers because swamp and ice both, whatchamacallit, are both pendants.
Well, the one thing that we can confirm, I believe, at this point is that Pedestal is dead. Unless it has the other bow, which would be Silver Arrows, obviously. And keep in mind, there are two bows now. There is another bow somewhere. There are progressive bows in this game. So that was a new feature with version 31.
Why couldn't Ped have flute if we're just trying to grasp it? Reasons Ped's not dead.
What would flute stop us from doing?
Right, it's only needed for Meyer, so I would say what they really don't want to see right now is the flippers, because if they see the flipper, then swamp and ice are in logic and it becomes possible that flute's on Ped.
That is correct. Flute would be blocking Misery Mire. That is absolutely correct. So that could still be the item on the pedestal, or a shovel, or something leading to it. So pedestal not dead yet, Chad. I almost went with you there, but pedestal is not dead yet.
But as I say, we'd need the flippers for Ped to be in logic, so as long as we don't see the flippers, chances are low.
So Rocket is going to also open Turtle Rock. Little does he know this is the right play. And someone making a comment about flippers on Ped. The flippers cannot be on Ped. You need them to clear Swamp Palace. Therefore, they cannot be on the pedestal because you need to clear Swamp Palace to get the pedestal.
It's kind of nice that all runners made the same call that Titan's Mitts was a sign for Dark Death Mountain and not, say, Smith Chain.
It's a telltale sign when you get something like that in a place like Palace of Darkness. It tells you, you know what, we're going to send you where in places you don't want to go right now. And they're kind of picking up on that hint, which I'm finding really nice that they're following that chain right up to Turtle Rock, because people don't like going to Turtle Rock. People look at that as a high IQ play to go in there and look for something. There's a Cane of Burna, by the way, and it's paying off for everyone who did that.
I wonder if maybe since Dark Death seems to have had all the progression, if the flute will turn to be in the cave.
In which cave? Sorry.
Spike Cave.
Spike Cave. Okay.
Because with the Cape and the Cane of Berna and half magic, Spike Cave is in logic several times over.
It is. We're going to see what's on Laser Bridge right now. The first chest has a magnetic circle. At least now we know where Trinex is. There's the other bow. That's our silver arrows. They're both in Turtle Rock. There's the flute.
We are now in Schrodinger's mode. Actually, no, we are in... Well, we are in no mode because we know where all the medallions are.
I'm just looking at the... Yeah, we don't know what Misery Mire requires yet. Until we know what Misery Mire is, or at least until Wayne knows what Misery Mire is, he is not officially in go mode. He's still going to be looking for items until he finds the pendants at this point.
Right, but we're in no because... And we have to assume that Blaine will clear up the rest of Pod while he's in because he only has one medallion.
I'm actually thinking we could still have... No, we know where all the pendants are. We know Bombos is located over on Zora Ledge. That's the one that runners have not collected yet, but we know that's where it is. So if...
We're in no mode, Blaine is in Schrodinger's mode.
Yeah, Schrodinger's go mode. But even then, it's not knowing what the medallion is on the... Yeah, I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Never mind.
Though that Bombos medallion is out of line, so it's an interesting question of if Misery Mire turns out to be Bombos, what the game would be intending you to do to get it.
Well, anyone who's able to do Water Walk will probably just skip the flippers. And let me explain why I say that. When we ran the spoiler log tournament back earlier this year, back at about, I want to say it was April, May, June period that we did that, we actually had a practice seed before the qualifiers began. And that practice seed, we were able to see the spoiler logs for that tournament. That practice seed showed that the flippers were on Vitreous, I believe. Everyone fake flippered Ice Palace and just carried on as if they had the flippers. Like, it was literally one of those cases of, I don't care. In any case, regardless of what happens here, this would be a case where Water Walk would be needed, and some runners will still need to get the flippers if they don't know how to do a Water Walk. Meanwhile, we did just unlock the duck on Wayne's side. He immediately plays the music and calls for transportation.
I guess you want to know first off what the medallion for Mire is.
And at this point, Quake. He does not know where Quake is. I believe it was in Palace of Darkness that we found that.
Yes, so Relkin will actually be in go mode as soon as he gets to the bridge.
Yes, he will be. But he also did not see Misery Mire yet. He won't until he gets the flute unlocked. He'll go check it, and at the point that he checks Misery Mire, he will be in pure go mode. Wayne, meanwhile, going to do some other checks because he's still looking for that Quake medallion. He's in Checkerboard Cave, just some money.
Yeah, so that sequence break paid off, and I guess Gerdo also did the sequence break, judging by his tracker.
And it looks like Wayne is heading right back to Palace of Darkness. So Relkin needs to get to Misery Mire to activate his go mode because that will be his indication. He's in go mode. Relkin getting his silver arrows, now going to get his flute. Wayne is on his way to get the Quake medallion right now. He just doesn't know it yet. And Relkin, now that he has the ice rod conveniently located nearby in Hookshot Cave, he's going to go take care of Tridex right now.
So yes, Relkin's in go mode, but he doesn't know it. Blaine isn't in go mode, but we know he's about to be.
Yep. Who's going to be in go mode first? And our other two runners, meanwhile, are finishing Turtle Rock. Early Turtle Rock was indeed the required play here today. And that anyone who did that early, as soon as he got the items needed for it, would have gotten their quick progression right away. And it was also an Aghanim required seed. We have to remember that as well. I was not watching those chests. I did not see which chest the Quick Medallion was in.
Can't have been in either of those two front chests. It must have been somewhere in the back because those two bow lock chests were both keys. So Blaine does not have it. He's going straight for Helma. Wow. I don't know if he's going to go back and check the back after he beats Helma or what.
The gamble here is that if Helmasar King has the one item he's looking for, he's down to one item. If Helmasar King were to have the one item he's looking for, he doesn't have to open any other chest, and he has to do Helmasar King no matter what. So he's doing this and hoping that it is the item he's looking for instead of opening all the chests first.
And Gerdo, like Relkin, is now in go mode but doesn't know it.
Relkin is shortly going to come upon that discovery, though. He's going to play the flute, and I think he's going to be off from Misery Mire. Relkin stops and plays some music. Blaine knocks out some turtles and is about to start a battle with the King as Gerdo is taking on Trinex of 3 necks. The left head of Trinex has to be killed with ice, the right head with fire, the middle one will then come after you. Blaine using the hammer to take down Helmasar King's mask. It likes to hide, it's shy, it doesn't want to show its pretty face, because as soon as it does, someone fires a silver arrow into its skull instead.
And remember, these runners on the right are having a bit more difficult trying to fight because neither of them got the bacon sword off of Ether Medallion. And Trinex, Helmasaur has the compass, so hopefully Blaine will go back in since he only got one item out of Pod so far.
Oh, Rodder will take the death of Trinex. Did he open the back door? Oh, he has the fairy, thank goodness.
I don't even remember where that second bottle with the fairy was, but hey, good thing he has it.
Yeah, I never saw it.
And he gets the second head down.
Oh, he caught one. He caught one. So he used the, he must use the liquid for the potion glitch, and as a result, oh no, he didn't get the Quake Medallion. No, he must use the magic potion somewhere.
Which means he was also playing it risky if he doesn't have a magic refill and just basically blew all his magic to get the first 2 heads of Trinex.
That's right.
But it works, and hey, whatever works, right?
Wayne, meanwhile, leaving Palace of Darkness, he did go back in. He did find his Quake Medallion at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and some number of seconds. Wayne is officially in go mode. And Rockham, by the way, is in Misery Mire. He found the access being Ether. He is now officially in go mode himself.
And Gerdo will be in about 30 seconds, I'm guessing. So we have quite the race right now.
Yep, this is definitely a race. Any of these runners could take the winning spot on the restream, at least. Keep in mind, there are about a couple dozen other runners in the race. We will update once we have a finish on stream as to who finished where in this race, but there are about a couple dozen racers in this race today who are also participating.
We, in fact, have 25 runners today, and all are still actively playing. Fortunately, no forfeits so far, so anything's possible.
So a couple dozen plus 1. That was not a bad guess. So Blaine is working his way through Eastern Palace back half right now. He's going to go to the Armos Knights. which with silver arrows is one of the easiest fights you will ever have in this game.
I'm just realizing Gerdo not mired. I guess he figured since he emptied out Pod anyway, he might as well just finish it off before whether he's in go mode.
He could be. He knows he has to finish it. He doesn't want to come back here again. Why not? And that was the Armos Knights on Blade's screen. Didn't even get a chance to talk about them. Waterloo heading to Misery Mire. He's going to be not in go mode because he does not have the Quake Medallion yet, as far as we are aware. We did not see him pick it up. He gets the information. He was gambling that Ether was going to be enough, but he realizes that was wrong. Turns around, leaves.
And Relkin on his way to, in a few more rooms, have a very fast fight. That is the beauty of getting the silver arrows before facing Vitria.
Yeah, that's another of these fights you're going to see in the game with silver arrows.
And remember, the vanilla game locks the silver arrows behind Vitrius for a reason.
Exactly. In the vanilla game, the 5-6 crystals, Ice Palace and Misery Mire, they are required to be able to get those silver arrows in the vanilla game. But in this randomizer, they can go anywhere.
Relkin has also successfully executed the spooky action glitch, which is always fun to see in action. I still don't really understand how it works.
I don't understand it myself. I was hoping you did, actually. But my understanding is that you have to go into Misery Mire on a certain pixel in order to get it to be able to work. I don't know the specifics. That's about the limits of my knowledge on that.
And that was about a 5-second takedown of Vitrius.
Now, it's worth knowing that if we had a big key in the first chest that any of our runners in Misery Mire were checking, it'd be a God Mire. There are no other keys required. Go unlock the big door, go fight Vitrius. But they have to do a little bit of exploring to find their big key today. It is not a God Mire.
Yeah. Either Relkin or Blaine is going to be making the climb up Ganon's Tower pretty soon, I'd say.
I would agree. We are getting close to that point. We are 2 crystals away for Blaine. And the other runners... Actually, Gerdo is also 2 crystals away at this point.
Yeah, but Gerdo's 2 crystals are in different locations, whereas Blaine and Relkin's 2 missing crystals are on top of each other.
Yes. We will see which one comes to be the fastest here. Waterloo needs 3 crystals, meanwhile 2 of them as well are on top of each other.
Right, but he also needs to be searching Pod a bit to get his Quake Medallion. And like Blaine, he's going to go for Helma first and then march back behind it. You know, this also means that unless the final sword is in Ganon's Tower on the way to finding the big key, we're going to be seeing the 2 runners on the left fight Ganon with Tempered Sword, but the 2 on the right will only have Master Sword. So that'll make a big difference when the time comes.
Indeed, it would.
Blaine also uses the spooky action glitch there. also just realized none of our runners are on their second row of hearts yet. This is one of the lowest health seeds I can remember seeing this deep in a long time.
Yeah, usually a lot of runners will be on the second row of hearts, so it's really interesting that none of our runners are there yet.
I mean, the blue mail really helps in that situation, because without the blue mail, a single Ganon hug would be insta-death for the runners with the 8 hearts.
So Relkin and Waterloo both just picking up their Palace of Darkness pad. They're both going to mirror to Eastern Palace at this point. Wait a second, I might have that wrong. Waterloo just went back into the wrong dungeon, so he didn't mirror. He's going to have to mirror. Now he's going to mirror. Relkin, now they're mirroring almost in sync with each other. They're both going to go into Eastern Palace.
I wasn't looking, but I assume Waterloo went back in and got his Quake? No, he didn't.
He apparently didn't.
Oh!
Our tracker is not marked it. We'll have to take a look at the menu and see if he... Nope. Chat is confirming he doesn't have Quake.
But yes, with Rogan and Dwayne both about to be getting their 7th crystals, would you like to introduce the game we're going to play as soon as the first one of them collects their 7th crystal?
We should go when they collect the crystal. I was going to get on that as soon as we had our first boss kill here. We are getting close to playing a game, though, and we're not going to be running a bot like we would for tournaments, but we will play that game in a moment. As Dwayne is doing the Lamol's fight right now, the nice sword swinging. Fire Rod. Well, that was a kind of quick fight. So that means we are now going to play our game. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, 1 to 22. Pick where you think the big key is located by a number, and we're going to see who's right on that. Of course, I'm always going to go with 11. Where do you think it is, Drossi?
I usually go with 10. I didn't remember that our normal guesses were close to each other.
Well, it's always 11 for me because, well, always. Someone's making a call for Bob's torch. We have a 21, we have a 12, we have a 14, we have a 2. We have numbers all over the place in chat here. Of course, there's 22.
The other night there was a seed where the answer wound up being 20, and no one guessed 20, but 2 people guessed 19. I guess people like odd numbers.
That seems a little odd. Anyway, moving on. Dwayne is on his way up Death Mountain right now.
Ooh, nice synchronized crystal pickups between Relkin and Waterloo. Okay, Waterloo's going back to pod, so he should get Quake B and Go mode shortly.
He should be very soon, yes.
Wow. Gerdo got the spooky glitch too. I'm not sure I've ever seen 3 restreamed runners all do the spooky glitch on screen before.
Well, more it's becoming more and more common now for people to be able to pick that up. It's a technique that was just found actually in the last year, I believe. Amazing, this is a game that came out in 1991, 1992, and there's still new tech being found. This was just the last year, I believe, that spooky action glitch came to be a thing. As well, opening Ganon's Tower.
That used to get the Quake medallion early was also only discovered in the last year.
Which one was that, sorry?
Glitch that Relkin used to get Quake medallion early from the back of pod.
Yeah, the potion glitch was also one of those tricks, you're right. And guessing now closing, Dwayne is now inside Ganon's Tower. And location number 1 today. We count the torch, even if he doesn't pick it up, which he is. It is a small key.
I wonder if he's doing Dark Magician.
He could be.
That's increasingly fallen out of favor with runners lately.
Number 2 is the winner today.
Wow.
That is an early big. So we have to announce
Oberon.
Yep, I was just going to do it. We have to announce the winner. Daniel Oberon, you are the winner of our prize. You did get a prize, right, Drossi?
Yeah, it's an all-expenses-paid trip to Misery Mire.
Oh, that's a great place. That's a great trip. I hope you enjoy that. I hear it's a miserable place, though.
Well, at least make it stop raining if you remember the right medallion.
Yeah, that's true.
Relkin taking a bit more standard route into the Hope Room. Since there's no key there, he's going to have to go, so he should get it on his 4th check.
Chad is calling out that's not a good prize. We need a better prize. So I'll substitute another prize. We have a free chance to watch Speed Gaming Live here on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2, starting tomorrow, Thursday, October 24th through October 27th at 1 a.m. That's basically October 28th at that point. So you have the ability, Daniel, to watch that. Congratulations.
And I'm just confirming it begins at 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow here on Speed Gaming 1.
So Blaine is working his way now through the gauntlet, which is the hardest series of rooms in the game, and he's showing you exactly why. Well, not really. He's just doing it very easily.
I'll have to remember to ask Wayne if he was planning on doing Dark Magician if the big key hadn't shown up in Stalfos' room.
Well, you get a chance probably in about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and we'll have to also remember to ask Relkin about his early ag play, which turned out to be a good play.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great play. Gordo getting his big key. He's going to follow the other 2 runners up against Tower. Relkin starting his gauntlet. Wayne is beyond the gauntlet. He's going down laser run here. Always love to see those Wizards get killed so nicely.
So I wonder if it will open the 4 chests at the top, hoping for Tempered, and maybe we'll even see Tempered in one of them.
We'll have to find out.
By the way, do you happen to know if the settings here are 100% inventory or beatable?
Sorry, what do you mean?
So one thing about version 31 is that you can choose the settings in terms of how accessible things are. 100% inventory guarantees you that all inventory can be logically collected. Beatable just guarantees you that, well, you'll have enough to beat Ganon and get through the crystal dungeons.
I believe because these are the same flags that would have been set up for Speed Gaming Live probably before version 31 came out. I believe we are doing the everything is available. I don't know of any change to that, but I wouldn't know if there was.
Yeah, I'm reasonably sure it's 100% inventory. I just don't have, like, a formal confirmation of it from anywhere.
Yeah, but we are getting a comment in chat that it is based on accessibility. And do you mind? You probably want to post that link in chat. We're being asked for information as to what.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll post chat once.
Yeah, we'll provide that again.
Finish with Ganon. I'm not gonna while we're concluding Agatu and Ganon fights.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with race for right now. We'll come back to that because we are on Aghanim 2 trigonometry fight right now, and the whole goal is to get 6 orbs into Aghanim just like before, and you just got a lot more orbs being flung at you. It can be done in 2 phases. I think Wayne did that one in 4, if I counted that correctly. And it's time for the Big Pig as Relkin takes on Moldorm 2. Why Moldorm 2? Because he's better than Moldorm 1. And Gordo is doing his own laser run right now. Waterloo heading up Death Mountain. He has all of his crystals. He's on his way to Aghanim's Tower. Wayne's bat drops in, creating a cuckoo-shaped hole. We're going to drop into that hole, and Ganon usually has something fun to say to us. Let's see what he says today. Today, he talks about a time when you loved him, he could do no wrong. Oh, he's singing Toby Keith.
I don't think I've seen that one before.
I have. It's the Toby Keith song.
And Ganon is positioning himself very nicely for an attack to take 12 slashes or 6 spins with the Tempered Sword per phase. And Blaine is already on his last heart, but Gan's in phase 3, so as long as he can avoid taking it, he should be fine.
He is down to 1 heart, so you don't want to take
While
a Ganon
Relkin
hug.
takes down Agatu.
He doesn't want to take a Ganon hug here. So Ganon is in temper tantrum mode right now. This is phase 3. 1 more hit will take him into phase 4. If you don't have any, if you don't have the proper weaponry, you will not be able to beat him at this point. In this case, I should say, if you don't have the ability to kill him with all the crystals, you won't be able to beat him at this point. But in this case, it's impossible to get here otherwise.
And down goes Ganon.
We have Bacon. So Wayne is our first restream runner to finish. He just has to cross a 1x3 bridge as Welcome starts his Ganon fight. Too little too late to catch up to Wayne, but will Wayne be the winner of this race? We can now report officially that Wayne has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 41 seconds and comes in 3rd place today in today's daily race, or to this evening's daily race. So we have 2 runners who did finish before him. We have Matt7898 finishing in 2nd place with a 1:18:03. And the winner of the race with a 1:17:57 by 6 seconds, Zelgadison. Get your GGs in chat for all of them.
So yeah, our restart runners really did well, considering that Rel could easily be 4th, and yeah, the first 2 were only ahead of them by a couple minutes.
Well, Relkin could easily be 4th. We will find out in just a moment, as Relkin just needs to finish this Ganon fight, and we'll be able to report as to whether that is the case. Gerdo, meanwhile, we are getting his flute music to head over to Ganon. So that's 3 runners who are going to be facing the Big Pig. Top 5 is still up for grabs here.
And there's Bacon on Relkin's screen.
Relkin gets his side of him, and we're going to cross the bridge, and let's see if Relkin is able to get 4th place in this seed. Bridge will appear. There it is. He's across. And we can confirm now that we have a tie for 4th place, ladies and gentlemen. Relkin and Lin with an official time of 1:21:58 both get 4th place. Congratulations to them.
And it's also worth noting that having an Aga seed with 7 blue balls, and yet we have a whole cluster of runners finishing around 120 anyway, is pretty impressive. Even if it felt like the runners were being trolled a bit with having to last location pod earlier on.
Indeed. We're going to see if either of our finish runners do want to come in, but we're going to wait to bring them into the discussion until Gerdo does finish. We'll see if we can get all 3 of them in here.
Yeah, so Gerdo only having the Master Sword, each of the first 2 phases with Ganon takes 12 spin attacks. You can only damage him with spins, but Gerdo is now on to the 3rd phase, so it shouldn't be any slower from here on out than it was for our first 2 runners. Oh, and I also wanted to remark that Wayne's Ganon fight, he managed to pull off that you don't see too often, namely a double silver arrow hit before the torches even went out.
By the way, one of the changes with this version, you notice that Ganon says, "Oh no, silver's my one true weakness!" And Gerdo almost falling.
That had me on edge, pun intended.
Me too. Me too. Still needs another hit, should get it here. There it is. So that is another, well, this one going out in the dark, but that's fine. So that's another set of bacon that we have for Gerdo. We will check other finishers as we go here. And waiting for him to cross the bridge, and there it is. We can now confirm Gerdo coming in 8th place with a 1:24:10. We have a few other finishers. Salty Fries 6 with 1:23:33. SAGTG, I don't remember his new name yet, but that's his SRL name, 1:23:39 in 7th place.
And Koi is now 9th at 1:24:36 as well.
Oh, that was a few seconds from now, but yes, that is our 9th place finisher as well. And we have Waterloo still working on Land Moldus 2, so that is currently what we are looking at here.
Well, now we know why the seed was so health poor. There was a full heart on Lake Hylia Island. There was a full heart on the pedestal. The full heart containers were just not in friendly locations today.
No, those full hearts, they if they want to hide, they'll hide. They're gonna make you do that seed health poor if you have to.
Anyway, it looks like we have Relkin in here, still waiting on Boyne and Gerda, but
Yeah, Welkin is with us. GG, welcome. I might be having a mic problem. Oh, Blaine won't be joining. He is typing. But thank you for that information. But GG, welcome.
Thank you.
So how did you feel that seed went?
Sure held on the health for sure. But other than that, I felt pretty good about my decisions and how it went.
yeah, how did you decide on Aga so early? Because that turned out to be a good play, but when you started doing it, we were thinking it was kind of early to be doing Aga.
I waited until I got the hook shot, because I already had a glove, so I would have been able to at least get to Catfish, but the hook shot would let me get to the rest of the Dark World, for the most part. Of course, the progression was in pod, as always, but that's besides the point. I was just waiting until hook shot.
Well, it's also the case that you kind of got lucky in the process, because since you hadn't done most of Death Mountain yet, until after you beat Blind and got the book, you could check e-tablet while you were then up doing Death Mountain, which all the other runners had already done, so you got the third sword upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, and we are hearing that Gerda will not be joining us either, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah. So the other thing I had thought about after the fact was the fact that I decided to continue going in pod with the potion glitch, and that got me Quake, so I avoided having to come back to pod to open up Mire.
Well, you had to go back to pod anyway to beat it. Most of the run... We actually had 2 and 2 on the restream, so the 2 runners who hadn't already gotten Quake to Mire immediately and then went to pod just because they didn't have too many options.
Something else just being pointed out in chat, we didn't need flippers at all for any of our runners on this seed. This is a flippers not required seed. That's actually surprising given the Bombos medallion was at the Lake Zora Ledge and we needed 2 different medallions for the dungeons. It's actually kind of surprising that Bombos was not needed.
And I recall Powder was on the fair.
No, I think that was in the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, Waterfall Ferry is what I meant.
Yeah.
Even though the ferry isn't there in the randomizer version.
Okay, well, I obviously didn't go there. Did not fake flipper. And at that point, going back there would have been a waste of time because, well, as long as flippers don't show up, I don't feel like checking it because the seed is definitely not pointing in that direction for any reason. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it feels like it was an incredibly friendly seed, given that, it was an Aga seed with 7 blue balls.
Oh man, I was shaking a little bit during that Aga fight. I had 1 heart, and I knew the position to make sure you didn't get hit by any blue balls, but it was still a bit nerve-wracking.
Well, Turtle Rock was definitely the place to be today. Bow, silvers, both bows were in there, basically. The flute was in there. So that was where the progression was clearly located today.
Of course, yep. It's like, and then the time I go up there with the mitts and the hook shot, it's like, here's Hammer, here's Ice Rod. Yeah, you can get into Turtle Rock. Go crazy.
Yeah, all you, as soon as you got the mitts, just went immediately for Dark Death Mountain. And then, well, you got your ice rod and your hammer, and yeah.
I think we did have one or two plays to the bow lock side without the bow. The potion glitch was used, but other than that, yeah, everyone went to Death Mountain right after coming out of Palace of Darkness.
So did anyone on Restream put off Mountain until after Pod?
I don't. Oh, you mean the initial check of Palace of Darkness for the Titans bit?
Yeah.
Everyone on the Restream, I think, got the Titans bit before going to Dark Death Mountain at all. I believe that's correct, right,
Well,
Kelsey?
I mean, going up to like the east part of Death Mountain. Period.
Oh no, everyone did the East Death Mountain on the Light World, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, everyone besides you actually did it before Aga 1.
Okay. Of course.
Which also meant that, except for Blaine, who truly last locationed Pod and therefore went up to Ether Tablet and got the Tempered Sword, the other two Restreamed runners wound up doing Ganon on Master because they had orphaned the Ether Tablet by that point.
Interesting. What else did Blaine skip? I'm curious.
Up until Palace of Darkness, I don't think he skipped anything.
Yeah, I think he literally last locationed his first Pod dive.
He didn't want to do Palace of Darkness without being able to go there without the bow and the hammer, or at least one of them to get to Eastern Palace at the same time. So he literally was trying to avoid that area so he could get those as quickly as possible, but didn't work out. This dungeon forced you to go in there to make progress to Death Mountain today to get the hammer.
I think he wound up ahead of you, mostly just because he'd already gotten the mirror, so he was able to do the mirror checks like Graveyard Ledge and K45 his first time through the Dark World while you had to go back for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bad piece of information here. I have to note this. Waterloo took a death again. He has decided to forfeit from the race, so he has called it quits here. That's why he has not left the screen. It looks like he's also stopped his stream, so he has called it quits here. He will not be finishing this. We will see if he does want to come in and chat about the seed. Just to finish off the top 10, we have Koi, who is in 9th place with a time of 1:24.36. Shiva Hayes in 10th with a 1:25.47. That's 11 seconds behind, and then there were a few other finishes after that.
Yeah, and that's where that Ether Tablet really made a difference, because I think if Waterloo found the Tempered Sword, he wouldn't have had such a tough Ganon fight and wouldn't have had to forfeit.
And the interesting thing is it was right outside of Tower of Hera. If he had got, just obviously he's not going to check it at that point, but if he had, he would have found it there. We don't know where the Force Sword was, though.
No, we never did see that. I'm gonna see if we can get Waterloo in here, though. Hold on a moment.
I was just doing that. Anyway, while we are waiting to get Waterloo in here, keep in mind that, yes, we do again have Speed Gaming Live coming up here for the next 4 days. This will be taking place starting tomorrow morning. I think you said about 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And we will be
going, yes, right. I was
live.
I was going to post the link chat. Thank you for reminding me. I said I wouldn't do it until we were done with Ganon.
Yes, so we are going to be live in... we've had a difference of opinion, Chad. The text on our channel was changed to say Washington, D.C., but it could be around Herndon, Virginia area. So it's going to be happening in that general area somewhere. We're going to have Speed Gaming Live for 4 days, October 24th to October 27th. That is starting tomorrow morning. That's going to go until Sunday night. We have a lot of live action coming up for Super Mario Maker 2. We're going to have Zelda 1 Randomizer, I think some Final Fantasy Randomizer, Link to the Past Randomizer has a big tournament there. Zelda Ocarina of Time, OOT. Randomizer, I think, has something going on there, and some other games as well. Make sure you check our tournament side here on Speed Gaming Prime channel, and make sure you also check out our ongoing marathon that will be taking place on Speed Gaming 2. Both events will be going throughout the marathon, and make sure you come check all of that out. We have a lot of great things happening here. I'm going to check the schedule myself after I get off here and see what's coming up tomorrow, in fact, because I want to start watching some of this myself tomorrow.
And we are now joined here in chat by Waterlow. GG, sorry it turned out that way.
Thanks. I was thinking how I can be so late without a mistake, and I heard there was a sword on Ether tablet.
Yeah, that definitely helped Relkin and Blaine.
It did.
Yeah, there are two reasons that I didn't do Ether tablet. The first was when I had the book on blind, it was not in logic. So I didn't want to do Ether tablet, and after Turtle Rock, I was in go mode if Quake was not the medallion for Maya. So I never did that tablet.
Yeah, that was kind of the irony that if you went up Death Mountain after getting the hook shot and before doing AGA 1, you basically orphaned Ether Tablet.
That's true.
But
It is
yeah, what are your
unfortunate.
thoughts on the seed otherwise?
Too much linear for me. I'm a big fan of routing, and there was not a lot of routing in that seed. Only execution.
Turtle Rock was certainly a friendly place to be.
Yes, that early Total Rock was. It's not a thing we see really don't know every time we do Turtle Rock with Butter Sword of 15 hearts, and when I saw that ice roll, I said, okay, I have to do Turtle Rock with 6 or 7 hearts. That was funny.
Yeah, we didn't get any runners into the second row hearts in that seed at all, as far as I could see.
At least the Gively are totally ridiculous with the heart level.
Yes, I said to my chat, maybe they made a mistake when they wrote the seed. We have a hard seed, a hard mode.
Well, it varies. Sometimes you're gonna get the hearts everywhere that you go, and those are gonna be what you get. But these chests all had money instead of health, and it was meant to be a low health seed. Unless you dug the pendant dungeons we didn't need and found the hearts out of there, the game didn't want you to have them today.
Yes,
Yeah.
and only one bottle. Do we know where was the last sword?
We don't.
And I was just going to say with hearts, like in terms of not getting them, we know that one full heart container was on the pedestal, and we know that one full heart container was on Lake Hylia Island, and there was no way any of you were getting those two, so that already cuts down the number.
Yes. I'm not so bad on Ganon, but I lost my focus because when I saw 10 minutes for the first, I said, what did I miss in that seed? Because I thought it was linear and only 5 minutes between players of the same skill levels. But I lost a sword. I missed a sword.
Yeah, that was the Ether tablet sword that you missed there. But yeah, like you said, it was a bit of a linear seed. Unfortunately, Aghanim seeds tend to have more of a linear feel to them. Aghanim required seeds, that is. There have been the odd ones where you have a lot of exploration you can do in Dark World places, but then you have to go back and do Aghanim for something silly, like, hammer at Pyramid Fairy, because there's no other way to get the hammer other than going through Aghanim in that case, which is kind of silly. But a lot of Aghanim required seeds do have that linearity kind of forced upon them. So I can understand why you say that does feel like a bit of a linear seed.
I was really happy when I found Quake in pod, because I didn't do the potion glitch or mimic clip.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone did that, he had to finish to do the dark maze, and I saved 1 minute, I think, there.
I think only one, maybe two runners on the restream did do that. I think Relkin, did you do the potion glitch?
I didn't.
Yeah.
You
I
did?
did.
Okay.
Everything. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, as you said, that probably ate up about a minute doing the dark room since you had to go to the basement anyway to get Quake. I mean, theoretically, any of you could have saved a bit of time if you had gone pod sooner after getting Dark World access, but none of you seemed in a hurry to do that, and I can totally understand why.
Of course.
I had 93 rupees.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That would kind of cut off Palace of Darkness. Well, we should probably get wrapped up here and get ready for SG Live tomorrow. Hey, I'll start with you, Rocket. Any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
That was a nice it was a nice seed. I mean, for me, of course, this is subjectively speaking, obviously.
Of course.
But, I look forward to watching the SG Live tournament upcoming tomorrow and the rest of this weekend. That'll be super exciting to watch, I think.
Yeah, and just as another reminder, starting 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, it'll be on here on the main Speed Gaming channel straight through to Sunday, and I believe the SG2 broadcast will start on Friday when they start doing a marathon.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that more in a moment as well, because I have the information up for that. I want to give Warlow another chance for any final thoughts. Any last thoughts before we go into that? Or is he Waterloo? You still there?
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Any last
I
thoughts
don't
before we?
understand everything you say because you speak.
Yeah,
little
understood.
fast
Any
for
last
me.
thoughts? Any last thoughts before we start talking about the schedule and wrapping this up?
No, only that it's 5 a.m. there, and I just want to go.
We'll let you go. Have a
Sleep.
good evening.
No, I want to thank you for the commentary, for Speed Gaming, for the restream, and see you later.
Yep, we will definitely see you later. We look forward to seeing you again on the restream in the future. And again, make sure everyone to follow these runners. Their links are in the chat. So I think we saw Drossi put those in a moment ago here for those who are watching live. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I'm just checking the names right now on all of the streams. They are all exactly as you see them, except for Relkin, who's under Relkin96. So twitch.tv/ whatever name you see there, you can go to those Twitch channels respectively and hang out with them and see what they do besides Zelda once in a while too. They share a lot of Zelda and some other things as well. So feel free to check them out and give them some love as well. Make sure also to go ahead and give my co-commentator Drossi1, I believe it is, Drossi1, a follow. And our trackers, actually, let me get the tracker links. We have 2 trackers for tonight's race, and they were, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation here, Hugo J. Mala, I think is how you say that.
Maya, I think it's an I.
Maya, yes. Hugo J. Maya, HUGOJMAIA. First time tracking. Thank you for volunteering. We hope to see you volunteer in the future. And Jinxie Girl also was doing the tracking today, so give them a follow as well. GYNXYGIRL, because that's a hard one to do as well. So give them a follow as well, and thank them for helping out as well. Any last thoughts for you, Drossi, before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, well, just a plug. Remember that there are 6 different speed gaming channels. Please give all of them a follow. As we've reminded you, 1 and 2 over the next several days will be focused on SG Live, but 3 through 5 will still be hosting other tournaments that are still going on online while SG Live is happening. So do check in on them as well if you want to break from the SG Live action.
Yep, I'm going to cover a little bit of that right now, actually, just to give an idea. Yes, the Speed Gaming Live starts at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Make sure to pop over here to the main channel, catch all the tournament actions going. It's referred to as SG Live from the tournament room. So that is going to be on this channel pretty much right up until Sunday. Meanwhile, on Speed Gaming 2 tomorrow, we don't have the marathon starting tomorrow, so we're still going to have some Hollow Knight at 2 o'clock on Speed Gaming 2 tomorrow. Zelda 1, Metroid 1 randomizer, combo randomizer will be at 11:30 p.m. And I know there is a Zelda 1 randomizer race scheduled as well at 8 o'clock tomorrow. I don't know if it will be here or on Randomania, but if it is here, it will be added to the schedule here, and we'll see that on the schedule, probably on Speed Gaming 2 before that Zelda 1, Metroid 1 race. So keep an eye out for that as well. And then at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday, the marathon begins on Speed Gaming 2. At that point, everything else moves to Speed Gaming 3. We have some Hollow Knight action on Speed Gaming 3 on the evening of Friday Evening. We also have some other events on Saturday, Mario Kart, Cars Glitchless, more Hollow Knight, some Super Mario Galaxy Luigi Run action. The marathon and the tournaments will still continue for SG Live. Sunday, we have Metroid Prime, we have Mario Kart 64, Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer, the weekly race, and again, Speed Gaming Live will wrap up that day, and then we'll be back to a normal schedule on all of our channels after that. So that just gives you an idea what to look forward to this weekend here on Speed Gaming. I look forward to seeing you all here at Speed Gaming Live. I won't be at the event, but I'll be here in the chat with all of you. Make sure to come hang out with us and watch some great live action. Going to be a lot of our Speed Gaming staff down there. I know Fiesel already is down there getting everything set up. I think Adirondack Rick was going as well, and a number of others. So definitely go down there, chat with them if you have a ticket. And if not, come here and watch all the action with us. We look forward to having you here for Speed Gaming Live starting tomorrow. For tonight, though, this has been another Link to the Past randomizer daily race. Daily races will be canceled for this rest of this week, and the weekly this weekend will not take place. Daily races will resume, I believe, on Monday. So if you're looking for more Link to the Past randomizer daily race action, come back on Monday, and we will have that again at that time.
Well, the daily races may still happen. They just won't be restreamed.
They won't be run by Speed Gaming, so you can still race. It just won't be broadcast, basically. In any case,
but yes, there will be plenty of Link to the Past randomizer action as part of Gaming Live, so you can still get your Link to the Past fix.
Exactly. You're going to see it in Speed Gaming Live. Make sure to come to Speed Gaming Live and get your Link to the Past randomizer. And did you post the schedule, Drosy?
I posted the schedule 5 to 10 minutes ago. I can post it again if you want.
I'm gonna orate the link for those who might be catching this on YouTube within a couple days here. The link is horaro, horaro.org/SGLive2019, 2019. So horaro.org/SGLive2019. Bring that link up, look at the schedule, and I'm actually going to see what's on there myself right now because I haven't looked at it yet. The first thing tomorrow morning, if I'm looking at the wrong one.
It's a crowd control Link Past randomizer, actually.
Yes, the crowd control kickoff race is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Come back and check that out. And then the tournament starts at 10:30. So Mario Maker 2 is tomorrow. Ocarina of Time is tomorrow. Randomizer and other events as well. Come check it all out. Look forward to seeing you. We're going to get off of here. Have a good night, everyone. May all your seeds be pet seeds. Drosy, take us home.
Okay, have a good night.